Today we're going to diagnose and replace a blower motor. These blower motors are used on various HVAC systems. This one happens to be for an AC. And why am I replacing this? Well, I'm replacing this because I have a repeating problem. The motor is working, suddenly it stops, and the AC lines freeze over. Before I started looking into this and replacing this, I didn't know what the problem was. We're going to go over what the problem is. We're going to go over how to replace the motor, how to test it, and also how to replace and test the capacitor as well. Remember, before you do any work, please turn off the power.
Okay, so here we are in the attic and we're about to replace this blower motor. So to get to the blower motor, I'm gonna have to open this up and figure out what's going on in here. All right, so here we have the blower motor. It's inside here. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna take this out. And then we have the capacitor here, which we're gonna be replacing. And yeah, let's get to it. Let's figure it out. So one thing we got to do is make sure we turn the power off because everything is energized here still, as you can see. So we have to turn the power off and then hopefully get this motor out because we can see the motor right there. What I ended up doing in order to take this motor out is this black and white wire coming in is basically the AC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect those two red wires, the purple and the black. And I marked the red wire there on top with 3 stripes, so I know that one goes on top, and I will take a photo and then I'll start removing this. So now that I took that nut out and then this one here at the bottom, it's pretty much loose and ready to come off, as you can see. There it is. And this whole unit is going to come out, as you can see. So I just got to make sure I unplug things from here and then pull the wires through there and then take this whole unit with me. Alright, so the wires that are going directly to the blower motor is basically this purple wire. So make sure you take note of these wires. This one over here was just capped, not being used. And this purple wire was going to that block right there where the AC comes in. And then the only wire that's left is this black wire. And this black wire is going up here. To that relay, I believe. But anyways, the best thing to do is take a picture, figure it out, and take it from there. So it shouldn't be too hard to do this. We already removed this whole thing, which is gonna come out, and then we're just basically gonna match up the capacitor and the motor, put it back in there, and plug it the way it was. So I'm not an AC technician by any means, but gonna make sure that you take the pictures that you're gonna need and that you put it back the right way. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a picture of this where the black wire is, you can see, which goes back to the motor. And that's basically it. I already labeled that one over there with 3 little stripes. That one goes on the top there where the AC comes in. And that's basically all we're gonna do here. So let me just take another picture of this. And then we'll remove this, we'll bring it downstairs. We have the motor outside here, the blower motor, and it's important that we get the motor exactly like this one. So we're going to take a picture of this. This one is a GE motor, and we'll take a picture of this. We'll get one exactly like it. And then the other thing is the capacitor has to be a similar capacitor. So the parts have to be similar. So we're going to be taking this blower motor out, and I think it's probably just these screws right here that you see, these hex screws. We'll pull it out and then we'll get a new one. So it shouldn't be too bad. So it looks like to remove this, we're going to remove these nuts right here, these hex screws, and we'll go ahead and remove it and maybe pull it out. And then I think there's a set screw where the actual fan blades are. Got the ground here as well that we need to remove, so you can see it's nice and loose now. Okay, so here's the motor. It just basically fell out of there. This is the top where the set screw was, and the set screw is right here, which I removed. You can see where it goes. And now that we have this out of the way, look at the capacitor. We can go ahead and also remove this for cleaning, I suppose. Alright, it's important to take a note that this is the bottom, this is the top, and it goes like this. And I'm going to put a few stickers on here just so I know, a piece of tape or something. So here's the capacitor, and you can see that these 2 brown wires come in here to the capacitor. These don't matter which way you plug them in. So the next thing is to make sure we got a capacitor that's going to match this.
So here we have all the components that we removed. The blower blade, we have the blower motor itself, the housing, and the capacitor.
I went ahead and put all the screws back so I know where they go. I labeled that at the bottom I did the same thing on the actual blades, so I know how it goes back. So I know that this is the top, and I labeled bottom on here. Alright, now the next step is to buy a new capacitor and a new blower motor.
So here we have the blower motor that I removed, and when you replace this, you want to make sure that you stay within the same specs. So you can see this one here, the horsepower is 1/5, and then the volts is 208 to 230, and you want to stay within that range. The cap here is a 5 microfarads. Again, you want to stay in that range, and then to the right here we have a diagram how the wires are all connected. And again, like I said, you want to stay within the same horsepower, within the same voltage. It's very tempting to get a higher capacity motor because you think it's going to work better, but don't do it. You need to get something of similar specs. And this includes the blower motor and capacitor. Initially, I had no idea what the problem was, so that's why I removed the blower motor and the capacitor. But here I'm testing the blower motor, and I'm testing the purple wire, which is the high speed. So I have one lead on purple, one lead on black, and I'm testing resistance. And it's about 35.2 ohms. And this is for the purple high-speed wire. When you test the red wire, you're going to have more resistance. The red wire is the lower speed, so there's more resistance. There's other various tests you can do on the blower motor, but just the fact that I'm getting the right resistance on the high and low wire means that the problem is probably not the blower motor. So this is where we're getting to the capacitor testing. Because I'm not an HVAC tech and I didn't know what the problem was, I should have tested this at the HVAC system and not remove everything at once, as the problem ended up being the run capacitor. So you can see here that this capacitor is reading 2.3 microfarads when it should be 5. So if I was to test this at the HVAC system, I would have found out right away that the problem is a run capacitor, and I wouldn't have to take out the motor. So you can see that it's 5 microfarads. There's a plus or minus 6%, and it's not falling within that range. The new capacitor I have here, and you can see it's 4.93, which is pretty much in the range of the 5 microfarads. So this capacitor right here, this new capacitor, is good. If I test the old one again, you can see that it falls out of range, and it's only reading about 2.3 microfarads, which is not enough to power this motor. Because this capacitor was bad, it was not feeding enough power into the blower motor, and because of that, the blower motor was working harder, and when it works harder, it overheats, and when it overheats, it goes into thermal protection mode, which basically stops the motor. Here I have the new blower motor, and these two brown wires are going to go to the capacitor. The black wire here is going to go to the relay on position 1, and then either your high, which is the purple, or your red, which is the low, are going to go into your terminal block. Again, my new blower motor is the same specs as the one I'm replacing. So here I have the blower unit housing. I did clean it all out. I made sure that it's nice and clean, and I did label this so I know exactly how the blower motor fan goes back on there, because there is a bottom and a top. So it's very important that when you take this out that you label it. And here we have the new motor, and basically it went in just the same way it came out with those hex screws. Here you can see me putting them in there. On my blower motor, it's about 3 screws. It's also very important that you plug in the ground from the blower motor to the housing itself. You want to make sure that your set screw is set on the shaft of the blower motor fan, and it's set there and it's nice and tight. I actually tighten a little bit more, and you want to go ahead and make sure it's not loose so this doesn't come off. And then once you set the set screw, go ahead and just test the fan blades and make sure that it's moving around and it doesn't have any problems like I am here. So it's very important that set screw is nice and tight so the fan doesn't come off of the shaft. The next step is to install and plug in the capacitor. And with the capacitor, these brown wires coming from the motor, it doesn't matter where you plug it into the capacitor. And then I went ahead and put this black cap on there just to protect anybody from getting a shock. At this point, I basically finished assembling the blower motor into the housing itself, make sure that the fan spins with no problems, and just basically check to make sure that I put it back the same way I took it out. And I'm ready to go ahead and go into the hot attic and install it. It's a good idea while you're in the attic to go ahead and clean your evap coils, and I just spray some of this foam on here and really clean it out, and I will leave a link in the description. Once you have the blower motor back in the unit, you want to go ahead and feed the wires through, and basically these wires are going to go to your terminal block, the relay switch, and so on. The blower motor housing itself just sits on top of those screws, and then you just go ahead and screw in those nuts nuts there, and it tightens in and holds it in place. Again, I'm just checking here the fan to make sure it spins free, double checking my work that everything is plugged in. You can see the brown wires from the motor plugged into the capacitor, and now it's time to plug in the rest of the wires. Now this is where the previous pictures that you took of this before you removed everything comes into play. So if you're not an HVAC person like I'm not, it really helps to go back into the pictures and see where everything plugs in. So basically the way I have things here is like this. The purple wire comes in from the blower motor and it connects to the terminal block, and then the other black wire from the motor connects to position 1 on the relay switch. You can see the terminal block here. You can see the purple wire connected on the bottom where the black wire comes in. The black wire next to the purple wire on the bottom there goes to the transformer, and then the two top red wires, one goes to the transformer, the other one goes to the relay switch. And if you're not sure, just follow your diagram and take pictures. This is why taking pictures is important. Once you're satisfied that everything is connected correctly, turn on the power, turn on your AC, verify that your blower motor is running. Here I'm testing the return in one of the registers to make sure that the air is coming out cold. You can see the compressor running outside, and then just go ahead and overlook these wires again before you close it up. If you have any questions, make sure you look at your diagram. Again, just go throughout the whole thing after you connected to make sure that things are connected correctly and that it's going to work. And take pictures, take notes, and you could do this yourself. You could save some money and get your AC working again. One final note I just wanted to say is I could have saved myself a lot of time by just replacing the run capacitor, but I didn't realize that's what the problem was. Hopefully you learned from this and you fix your HVAC system, and I know that you can do it. If this has been informative, leave a comment, put a like. We'll see you in the next video.